Hello, my name is Kevin Mann, and this is my digital short. After reviewing past research assignments, the topic I have chosen to focus on is the importance of art in different cultures. The issue with this topic is that people are appropriating cultures without seeing the positive aspects a culture can bring. Art is a potential solution to helping with this issue because people can picture one's emotions through his or her artwork. The audience is focusing on is the minor culture groups who are being appropriated without knowing more about the culture itself. The rhetorical genre I am visiting is pathos because it appeals to emotion, and when it comes to the issue of culture, people's emotions show how they really feel about an issue. This digital short will appeal to the audience's emotions to inspire and motivate them to speak up and represent their cultures. Strong evidence will be provided to show how important art can be when it comes to influencing a culture and spreading its wonders around the world. People don't think of art as much, but without art, we wouldn't have any of the special designs or creative ideas that we see everywhere today. All artists view their culture in different ways, despite it all coming from the same roots. The beauty of art is that there are no restrictions to anything because art can be expressed freely to share stories. The importance of art that is shared from many cultures can truly open one's eyes to what the culture has to offer. My first claim for the digital short is that cultures begin to embrace the American social life, and it shows how many different cultures added to it. The picture I chose shows equality. Different cultures come together to bring their stories or items from their different countries. Diversity is when there are multiple people practicing their culture and sharing it with the people of America. This is how cultures spread, and culture can spread through art also. My second claim is that historical events brought people together from different aspects in life. The picture I chose shows how cultural, social, and political change can all come together. This is how different biased opinions from different countries can bring people together by forming alliances and networks that are necessary in affecting social change. Cultural changes bring people together because there is more diversity. This leads to social changes and political changes, and this can easily be seen through different styles of artworks by different artists. My third claim is that culture is important because it starts from our roots and spreads and diversifies. Not losing sight of your roots can make you a better person because you are more aware of your people's history and what your people have gone through. Diversity is when everyone is accepting of each other. Art through culture is a way to spread diversity because art tells stories from a culture's roots. My fourth claim comes from McDowell. McDowell wants to share with the audience that art and culture is a way for people to share their experiences and stories with others. This picture demonstrates art and culture because it is a dragon made from the environment and paint. The colors used by the artist can have a separate meaning. This could be from any culture, but depending on the location the painting was created at, it could lean toward Asian cultures. My fifth claim is that maintaining a healthy community is important for the population. People learn to become more open, kind, and accepting of each other, and this results in a healthy and longer life. The picture I chose is a happy community all around each other and accepting. When people accept each other's cultures, this creates a healthy community. And art also does this because it finds people's comfort zones and it creates it through art. One can learn a lot about a community through a painting because it represents the community's culture. As for my sixth claim, art is powerful because it has limitless possibilities when we imagine how it positively affects and influences our lives. The picture that I chose shows that there is some sort of light radiating from one person and the rest of them is dark. This artwork depicts how one person's positive energy can potentially make the rest of the world around them a better place. Different artworks can give off different emotional vibes. People can find it easy to connect with these art pieces when they are emotional. They relate to the positivity or negativity the pieces give off. This helps the audience connect with the author's feelings too. In my digital short, my seventh claim is that the way for art to connect you to your culture and roots is if you are willing to accept it for everything it has. The picture that I chose shows diversity. When you accept your cultural roots, you will be able to practice and understand what your cultural roots has to offer. Some cultures have different methods of approaching situations, and these have different food and different art. Realizing your culture has a special aspects and will make you appreciate it more. By appreciating your culture more, you can share with the rest of the world the values your culture can bring. Another claim that I have come up with is that the art that is being used now was influenced by the past, and future art will be influenced by our current art. Art can stretch through different generations, and if the memories and stories are told, then they will last forever. Lessons taught from the past are carried to the present for our generation, and lessons discovered today are implemented into teachings made for future generations. Cultural influence from the past in modern art will happen the same way for future art. My last claim is that art gives people the chance to think outside the box and make decisions based on certain situations and understandings. Art helps people think outside the box because it makes them think in a more creative way. Thinking outside the box can help someone be more open-minded and accepting of other things that are strange or new to them. This applies to different cultures, different art, different music, and even different foods. The research I have done for my digital short consists of looking for valid primary and secondary sources on the internet. I also took the time to look back at my old assignments to get a better understanding of the issues and stakeholders. I also researched on YouTube for small clips to include in my digital short, but unfortunately I was not able to include them, but I did include pictures. The time it took to find my primary source didn't take too long, but the time it took to put together the words was. Writing it out helped me better understand the issue because I got to express the way I understood the issue at hand. By writing it in my own words, I am able to identify the issue and the stakeholders involved that are trying to resolve it. The fault lines were a little harder to identify, but when I did my research and found multiple sources, it became clearer to me what the fault line was. Many of the stakeholders I found took a similar interest when it came to culture and art because this issue has been going on for a long time. Art is one of the biggest ways to spread culture and show others the positive aspects that a culture can bring. I translated my research into writing by compiling all of my data and creating an outline for myself. By coming up with these main claims, I'm able to read more into my sources and summarize what they are trying to say. I take one of the ideas from a stakeholder and compare it with another source. By looking at multiple sources at the same time, I get a better understanding of different people's opinions. As for videos and pictures, I had to look for a video that was short and directly correlates with the issue at hand. If I am talking about culture and art, I have to look for a video or picture of how art affects culture and nothing else. The process I took to find the claims was easier than I expected because I had plenty of claims and sources from my previous projects and assignments. The only difficult part was combining them all together by tying it together around my issue. I had to identify the different stakeholders, compare their ideas, and produce a script on what they all said. It was a little difficult to understand the sources I found at first, but I understood it after reading it over several times. I also thought of modern and current events that had been happening to help me with my research. I also remember the video about the small Chicana community, and I am hoping to be able to add that to my digital short. That one video alone is going to be one of the most important pieces because in the digital script it encompasses everything I have to say about culture and art. In the video, there were many people with different set of skills that represented Chicana culture through clothes, music, and art. By using these current events, people of our generation find it easier to understand and that they feel more connected with the topic at hand. Lastly, this is my works cited page. This includes all the sources and references that I made.